Hola, and a very warm namaste all the way from India. Thank you so much for the introduction. The story of Riverside School, Design for Change, was not really a story about me wanting to change the world, but it really was how my entire world changed when I became a mother. So this is really my story. My son was 6 years old, and in a single stroke, a teacher removed choice from his whole vocabulary. His crime? He had chosen to write his version of the essay, The Cow. That day he went to school thinking, I can, and returned home believing, I can't. And I think that really got me thinking about choice. From the life-altering to the mundane, we make choices every day, from choosing tea over coffee or putting a man onto the moon. Our choices define who we become. And yet it is this word that we remove from our children's vocabulary. Not for one day, not for 1 month, not even for a year. But for 15 years of our children's life, we tell them they have no choice but to listen to what we have to tell them. And then we wonder why they're not empathetic, responsible, creative citizens. So that day, I removed my son from school. What was I supposed to do now? Changing a school would have been the most convenient situation. But I didn't have a problem with the school. I had a problem with the system. Look at the reality. Most of the focus in education has been on the fastest, the strongest, the biggest. And so much of the success has been often measured by student academic outcomes rather than student well-being. What I call the either-or model. So what if education would be about helping every student graduate with skills and attitudes, content and creativity, and doing good and doing well, what I call the both-and model. And this is really where my design background kicked in, and I realized that my son's problem could actually be turned into an opportunity. The design mindset is fascinating. It is human-centered. That means it is about the user, about making a difference rather than being different. It is optimistic. There's a general belief that things can be made better. And it is collaborative. It is about we cannot go ahead without each other. And the basic message in this mindset is that we are not helpless, change is possible, and we can drive it. Another fun fact about design thinking, well, it promotes employability skills, and in it is embedded the 21st century skills. So the need of the hour? Well, to bring design thinking into education. And in 2001, I started my school, Riverside. For the last 14 years, we've been using these 4 steps. Feel, the whole idea of empathy. Imagine, what is the preferred situation. Do, creative agency. And share, the idea of abundance and elevation. And we have done this to empower all children with the tools to help them go from I can't to I can. All the processes and curriculum is designed at getting our children excited about problem solving, design thinking, scientific inquiry, also your math, science, and literature, but also getting them to understand what it takes to be sensitive to ethics, excellence, and engagement. And I'd like to share with you 3 small snapshots of how this has become common practice at Riverside. The first is a story of my 6-year-olds. This is a story about developing skills and attitudes. And their teacher was excited about jewelry design. So the entire year, she used her passion to get the children to be excited about developing their math, their language, their scientific temperament, the whole idea of getting along with each other, teamwork. And the entire length, breadth, and depth of the entire learning got energized because of this particular passion. And now we'll realize that when learning is user-centered, it is not either or, but both and. So this is a story of 6-year-olds.
Archana ma'am is a jewelry designer, and she has put up her jewelry exhibition. Then we thought that we could also make this kind of jewelry. Then we told Kiran ma'am about it. Kiran ma'am told us that
you can do an exhibition.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. So we said yes, but Kiran ma'am asked us that no, you can't do it, you can't do it. But we said no, we can do it. So she told in 10 days I want 5 jewelry pieces. So we started looking at different materials and we created our jewelry. But when we did the exhibition, Kiran ma'am didn't like our jewelry pieces.
I want this necklace. Look at the size of these beads. Right? And look at your pattern. I can't wear it. It's too tight. So nobody came and asked Kiran, what kind of design you like, what colors you like.
So we did a survey and asked different teachers which color do you want, where you will use it. For putting up our second exhibition, we went to some stores and some exhibitions. In the second exhibition, we got lots of advance orders. But when the ma'am started using the jewelry pieces, the anklets broke. So then we were looking at quality.
I want you to check this hook and I want you to check that hook and tell me why Kiran is saying this is good quality and that is not. Here you are.
And we went to the shops, we were comparing and we understood what was quality. We went to NID, what kind of tools they use to design or what material they use.
Now what is the number? 122 rupees. So whenever you write money, rupees has to be written. It is compulsory.
So we thought that we can help heal by selling our jewelry. Then we had made many designs, lots and lots of jewelry pieces for earrings, anklets, hairbands, necklaces. Then we put up a stall in an exhibition at Rajpath Club. We were happy that we could make money and then we could give it to the heal people. Customers were not believing that we have made this jewelry.
The one thing that relearning tells you that age has nothing to do with competency. The next story is a case study of my grade 10 students. When you blur the boundaries between school and life, this is what happens. They set out to design an ice cream flavor for the leading blue chip ice cream company. And they had to do the marketing, the planning, the budgeting, the accounts, everything to then finally come up with the final product. The wonderful thing is that this is the second year that they've been doing it, and the company has actually used that product as a permanent addition to their ice cream sort of selection. And 1 rupee from every sale goes to a social cause of theirs. So this is what happens when content and creativity intersects. All the boys learned how to make ice cream. That was a big one.
Our business challenge was to basically come up with a very innovative ice cream for Have More. Our first step was to lay out a plan of action. On the presentation, we have to present our idea to the internal jury, and if we go through to Have More.
And to go about this, we conducted several surveys, several questionnaires, and we divided our research into subsections. One including the primary and the secondary research, and the other by the qualitative and quantitative data we would like to receive from our research. So, आपको सबसे अच्छा flavor कौन सा लगा? Chocolate.
82% of the people consider chocolate to be their favorite flavor.
We decided to visit the Have More factory to basically see how Have More's products are being made on a mass scale.
And inside that there will be like layers of ice cream, about 4 layer making, and then it will be like multi-color.
We came up with about 3 designs. I think this represents the final product very well. And we decided that we will make one design which will be called the trifle. Before we presented our product to Have More, We had an internal jury.
The cupcake ice cream.
Group B, the logo was very good. The product was excellent. I love the product. Profitability is the key. So when you are doing your pricing or any calculation, you need to complete the entire 4 P's of marketing.
We made sure that we modified the product according to the feedback given to us by the internal jury, and then we went to Have More to present our final concept.
Strawberry and mint are two ice creams that are really popular and they go well together. And vanilla is an all-time favorite with people.
So after you look at the product, the second thing at which you look is the price. We would need 25,000 units to break even, and the revenue needed would be, as you can say, 20 lakh.
The Christmas Mela that we've thought of, Christmas party, is an idea to help celebrate the goodness of ice cream, which we believe our product symbolizes. So we'll call as many people as you can at a specific Have More parlor and just celebrate the ice cream that we're proposing.
We are going to try and implement all 3 of them at various stages of our outlets. Have More is a mass brand. Right? We look for something that we can sell in thousands. And that one product that we thought can be taken to the next level are the cupcakes.
"15-year-olds were able to come up with an ice cream for the city's best ice cream brand, which is something that even adults can't do, and we are feeling very, very proud."
Seriously, good design is good business. The final story is a journey of self-discovery and personal transformation. Every year, children at Riverside have to spend 120 hours engaged in community work and learning lessons for life, not just for a test. Here's a glimpse of my 16-year-olds. They've been spending the last 200 weeks spending time with children who are diagnosed with cancer. And the biggest lesson they are learning is that you cannot change somebody's life without it changing your own. Here is doing good and doing well.
In Key Stage 3, one of the main ideas that we are understanding is the idea of persistence. Our persistence idea is called HEAL, where we work with children suffering from cancer. When I saw that a child had a tumor in his eye, that image truly bothered me a lot. And that stuck with me, and that changed me. So now that we knew what really bothered us, we formed a core team and we started working towards that. So we wanted to achieve 3 aims. One was the smiles, which we wanted to see smiles on the children's faces. Second was distraction, because they go through pain through those drips and injections that go inside their body every single day. We wanted these little tiny moments, happy moments for them in their life. Third was transformation, because their ward is very dull. They have cartoons with no heads. So what we did was we wanted to decorate and make the space more brighter with their own work, which they could see every day in their ward. We've planned lots of different activities, and they're based on non-craft and craft activities. And the kids always wait for Saturday interventions. So even we also wait to meet them, they wait to meet us. So the moment we are entering, they would all come, they would enjoying, and they would smile and they would laugh. And even the parents would, for that much of time, they would be relaxed and they would sit back and just watch their child happy. And that's what even the parents liked about here.
जब यहाँ आते हैं तो यहाँ बच्चों को खिलाता है तो बहुत अच्छा लगता है। 2 दिन का जिंदगी ही सही, मगर बच्चा अच्छा से खेल कूद के तो अपना जिंदगी बिताए।
मेरा नाम मोहम्मद शाहरुख है। मेरा एक्सीडेंट हो गया था रिक्शा से और मेरे कैंसर की गांठ हो गई थी पैर में। कोई नहीं आया जब तक 8 महीने से हूँ मैं यहाँ पर, अब तक कोई नहीं आया, पहली बार आई हूँ।
We wanted to persist with this idea for even longer time. And one of the main things that was restricting us was the finance. The best way to raise some funds was to finally put up an auction.
25,500. 30.
We adolescents are very quick to change our mind, change our interests, change our passions. But I guess one thing we've truly learned
is that change takes time.
So this ICANN model has demonstrated that it is not either or, but both and. Children are showing us that their personal well-being has a direct impact on their academic results. For the last 10 years, Riverside children have been outperforming their peers in math, science, and English. So for all of those who said, yeah, making them good human beings is all very well, what about your math, science, and English? This is data that tells us when children are doing good, they do extremely well. So at the end of the 15-year journey, our children are graduating, finding their passion, be it in economics, medicine, dance, research, as well as also finding compassion for self and others. So we knew that this model worked, and we also knew that every child had to benefit from this design process. So in 2009, we promoted the world's largest design movement for children called Design for Change. Use the same 4 steps: feel, imagine, do, share. And today, children in over 200,000 schools in 30 countries are using these steps to solve some of the world's greatest challenges. So what are they changing? From reducing the weight of school bags to caring for the elderly, from stopping child marriage to promoting peace. They are changing the bad and making it good with the power of the ideas. The last story is really an inspiring story from here, from Spain, from my Design for Change partner. I don't know if Pedro is here. If Pedro's here, a shout out would be great. Okay, anyway. So Design for Change started in Spain in 2010. And one of the stories that made it to the top was really a wonderful story of 13-year-olds who decided that we adults are always pessimistic and bored and tired. And happiness actually is a good thing to be. So not only did they set out to try to do a happiness day, but they went ahead finally to persist with the idea and created an entire street called the Happiness Avenue. This is something from Spain.
Yo creo que hay más cosas buenas en el mundo que cosas malas, pero la gente solo se da cuenta de las cosas malas. Se obsesiona más con las cosas malas.
So they wanted to give optimism to everybody. I think this is much needed in education also to recover happiness. Simple things: sharing, laughing, doing, helping. A day of humor. I think one of the stops you should all go is to the Happiness Avenue. So what started with my son today has been able to infect children in over 200,000 schools with this ICANN spirit. I don't think there's any disagreement with all of us sitting here that education should be about getting our children to be aware of the world around them, to believe that they have a role in shaping that to become better, and then to take action towards a more sustainable, desirable future. But the only thing I've learned over the 14 years is this doesn't happen by chance. It happens by design. Thank you very much.